Our next guest is not only Director of Research for the City of Boston, but he is also very well versed on the 50-year history of Brazilian migration to the United States. Now, later this month, he is launching his book on this very topic, and he has founded an educational digital platform that documents the diversity of Brazilian communities around the entire world. Now, here in Boston and in surrounding towns like, for example, Everett, the Brazilian community is yet another group that is rapidly growing and making an impact on many, many levels. Here to bring us up on this very interesting topic is Alvaro Lima, founder of the Brazilian civic media platform DIGAAI. DIGAAI. Okay, I got it close. Welcome to Urban Update, my friend.
It's my pleasure to be here.
How are you?
Thanks for the invitation.
Yes, before we get into what do you do for the City of Boston?
I'm the Director of Research, and mainly we do a couple of things. One, we do a lot of research with the population, with demographic data. We have a section that works with impact analysis in the economy of the city. We monitor for the mayor the different markets in Boston, labor markets, real estate markets. So we inform also some of the initiatives that the city are going to start with pre-research before to inform the initiative.
And I saw your name and I saw your presentation recently. I know we're going to get to the Brazilian community, but you did this whole research for the Boston Foundation?
For the Boston Foundation, actually was two research, one on the importance of the immigrant community to the economy of the city, and the other one, the importance of the Latinos in Boston the last 30 years.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Well, let's go back 50 years, the Brazilian migration to the United States. So it started when? Over 5 decades ago?
It started, the bigger flow started in the 1960s. Historically, the immigration started just after the Second World War. There was a Massachusetts mining company that was mining in Brazil and create this relationship, but the flow picks up in the 60s and then accelerates in the 80s with the crisis in Brazil and then in the 90s and more recently.
Yeah, do you go into that in your book that you're launching? Is that kind of where you begin?
Yes, we begin with explaining the immigration, why Brazilians immigrate around the world, then why specifically to the U.S., and then we kind of divided the book on the where they come from, then when they are here, who they are, what they work, and then going back for those that going back. And then one part of the book that we explore also is this assumption that when you immigrate, you are here. And a part of the book is showing that we are here and there, and actually that the Brazilians that are better off are the ones that keep their relationships in both countries.
Absolutely. Now, this digital platform that you founded and established, created, that's kind of like curates and takes a lot of different images and just information about the Brazilian community, but around the world.
Yes, I mean, that started with some of research that I did for about the Brazilian community, and got many requests from newspapers, from organizations about the data. A friend of mine, I don't understand anything of digital, a friend of mine said, why don't you create a website? And then other folks that are doing research on the Brazilian community around the world said, well, could you use that? I said, sure, and today is a very sophisticated platform. We have, today is the largest database about Brazilians in the world.
Wow, that's amazing.
We have many different assets, one that probably interests you. We have 10,000 Brazilian immigrant-produced newspaper.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, here in Massachusetts, it's a healthy, they have radio programs and newspapers, many newspapers, radio programs, lots of media. And let's talk a little bit more Massachusetts. I mentioned, obviously, Everett comes to mind because I'm very into that community. But it's not just, obviously, Everett. Where are the pockets? And I remember a few years ago, we were the #1 place for Brazilian business. I know it's changed now a little bit, right?
Changed a little bit. Now it's Florida. Actually, I mean, over time, Florida and Massachusetts switched places, and now Florida has a larger flow of Brazilian immigrants mostly middle class with the crisis in Brazil. But they are there close one to the other. And Massachusetts, I think, is making much more progress because it's the oldest Brazilian immigrant community, and we start to see Brazilians participating in politics. Actually exploded. We have 3 candidates at city council, 1 in Everett, 2 in Framingham, and we have a candidate for mayor in Framingham.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to see the Brazilian community coming to age on the political front.
Yeah, and I see a lot of sons and daughters of Brazilians who came over here many, many years being very involved in business, in corporate America, everywhere. So you can see the impact generationally.
Yeah, we can see the impact of the second generation. I mean, it's a young immigration, but we see the impact of the second generation starting to find themselves as Brazilian Americans.
So did you see how quickly 7 minutes went? Like this?
It's done?
It's done. We're done. All right, my friend.
Great.
Thank you always for stopping by.
It was great.
Okay, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
All right, that's it for this edition of Urban Update. And everyone out there, keep enjoying your 4th of July weekend.